This podcast is intended for informational purposes only and should not replace professional mental health care. If you are in crisis, please contact your local emergency number or the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. Welcome back to Hello Human, your resource for grounded guidance and staying connected with yourself and others in these digital times. I am Dr. Joy.
And I'm Aaron Jones, LMFT.
And we have a special guest in studio.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bonnie.
Yes, this is Bonnie Badillo. Bonnie B is a first-generation Mexican-American devoted to serving others with warmth, humility, presence, and soul. I love that so much.
The soul part.
She is passionate about living consciously, connecting deeply with others, living with integrity, and most of all, helping individuals feel safe and seen in who they are, who they have been, and who they are becoming across the spectrum. Her true mission is to ensure that every soul remembers that they carry something beautifully unique to offer this world. Bonnie B,
Yes.
you out here doing your thing.
We're trying. Step by step, one seat at a time.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? We also did not acknowledge in this last episode our beautiful new background. We are in a new studio doing new things, making changes. So
Coming up.
welcome to our new studio.
New digs.
Yes.
Welcome.
Out
Thank
here,
you.
plush and cozy with our crushed velvet blue background. We out here. So today we are talking about learning to listen when the world is loud, because the world be loud.
Yes.
So we're talking about learning to listen, which I know it feels like we've been talking about that, but we want to get practical. We've talked about the importance of establishing and defining your values and all these things, but now we want to get practical. How do you actually do that? Because I think we've taken for granted that everybody just knows how. We're like,
Yeah,
what are
it's
your
easy
values,
to do.
right?
You know, it's easy to kind of sidestep that. But today we're with some really practical knowledge that I think will be helpful, easily digestible. We'll all have a lot of fun with it today.
Yes. So around these parts, before we get into the topic, we like to do a little temperature check to figure out, just to kind of check in how each
Okay.
other's doing. So, Aaron, why don't you let us know what's our temperature check? What's our
Okay.
gauge today?
All right. Here's the gauge. You ready?
Let's hear it.
All right.
I don't know if you are. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't know.
I like to take us on, walks, little visualization walks, if you
Okay.
will. Okay. So on a scale of a gentle breeze, sitting calmly and peacefully by a river,
Okay.
to sailing on the open ocean in a raging storm,
Ooh.
right? How calm were your winds this week?
Bonnie B, I'm gonna let you go first.
Ooh.
You know?
I'm in the
I hit
first
you with it.
semester of a PhD program. I don't know what I'm doing.
Let me tell you.
So we'll start with that.
Tell you.
So-
Just for context.
One of my feet, like both feet, were on different parts of land.
Gotcha.
We know one of them was in
Gotcha.
the storm,
Yes.
and the other one was grounded in faith.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So-
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah.
So,
I really like
and that was the grounded part. The rest of me was just surviving the storm. But here we are.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
grateful to be here.
Does it feel storming to start a PhD?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Being a first gen, not knowing what it is.
Yeah, not knowing what to
Where is
expect. or
the
what to do.
guide? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Well, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
a huge step to
Yes.
take.
Wow.
And from what I understand, I mean, the two, doctor and doctor to be over here,
Mhm.
it's a lot of work,
Oh,
seems like.
yes.
Maybe one day y'all can inspire me to go back and finish it.
Do it.
Yeah, that wasn't convincing.
Because Let me tell you,
that wasn't
we're
convincing
gonna have
at
a
all.
real conversation, and I'm gonna tell you the truth about this experience, and I want you to make an informed decision.
Is that
'Cause I love
bonus
you, friend.
content? That's gonna be
And
bonus.
I'm gonna make sure that if I'm gonna encourage you to do something, I'm gonna tell you the whole truth.
For all of y'all thinking about
And I
graduate
appreciate
degree being
that.
the bonus content.
Yeah. I think more than anything, it's important to know, like anything else, why you're doing it,
Yeah.
right? Because, you know, in this realm, it's easy to get caught up in the titles and to do it because you think you're going to be fancy with your doctor, whoever. And I'm going to tell you, it ain't.
That's not enough.
It ain't.
That's not enough to make
not
you
enough.
see through these moments where you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in the storm, 1 foot on faith. Like, you need something more than a fancy title to pull you
Oh, yeah.
towards the work that it takes to complete this process. So,
Man, I don't know. I'm sad about that. I want it to be fancy.
I mean, you will be.
Can I be fancy?
But
too?
you gotta have something else.
Something
You
else.
gotta
too?
put something
I
else
can't
with
just
it.
be fancy.
Can't just be fancy.
All right,
Yeah.
Aaron Jones LMST for now. It's fine. I'll be fancy later.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I'm just Bonnie B.
Just
Hey.
That
So,
could be your rap name.
you know,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
good-
I'm
that's
just
a
saying.
good
Aaron
name.
says Bonnie
Bonnie B.
That's a
I would
good
buy the
name.
album.
That's
I'm
a good. That's a good one.
just
That's
saying.
just
So,
Bonnie
you know,
B
I
sounds
think-
like a debut.
Oh, thank you. Coming soon.
I'm saying if the doctor thing doesn't work out,
Back up, right?
just Bonnie
Back
B.
up.
You know, I'm saying.
An affirmations album
Nice.
with some
You see,
good
you see what I'm saying?
background.
You see what I'm
Nice.
saying?
I like it.
You be thinking. So, if I were to say this week for me, a lot. A lot is going on. I have
Yeah.
travel. You know, my travel schedule has been
Yes.
nuts.
All,
It's been nuts. I
all
literally
season.
landed on a Monday, left out on a Wednesday, got back on a Friday. Now I'm leaving out on a Tuesday. I mean, it's like
No. That's because you fancy.
it's too much.
You Dr.
It's
Joy.
too
You
much.
fancy.
It's too many things. So
Yeah.
just with that travel schedule and trying to stay on top of the things in between that are happening, right? Because I come back here and I got to do and then I have a doctor's appointment and other
Yeah.
thing, regular life
Regular
stuff.
life
in between.
stuff. Yes.
So,
Yes.
so it's been a bit tumultuous, a little rocky, kind of
Okay.
stormy. But like you, remembering sort of why I said yes to all the things, and doing my best to stay grounded in that and guided by that,
Good.
right? So
Good.
that I don't get
I'm happy to hear
swept
that.
up in the storm of it all. And I also know that it's temporary. It's not sustainable to live like this forever. I just got a couple things every now and again, a couple of times a year, all the things that I have going on overlap.
Yep.
And they're all kind of calling for my attention at once. But that doesn't happen often. And so I know what this is. I know what to do. And I know it's not going to last always. Yeah, but it's been a rocky one.
Well, I appreciate both of your very honest answers, the both of you.
Yeah.
Lots of candor here. And I think the reason that made me think about it this way is because of what we have coming up in the episode. Like,
Sure.
oftentimes we do kind of wax about some of this stuff. We talk very, very poetically about it, but hopefully today there'll be some very practical steps that people can take and things that you can really incorporate into your life that make some of this stuff really helpful.
Mhm.
And we just want to be useful today,
Yeah.
right? We just want to deal with the energy that's showing up. In my life, things have been a little bit less than calm.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it was like a raging storm necessarily, but definitely less than calm. And in times like this, it is helpful to have a few practical things, in the toolkit that you can do to just kind of ground yourself a little bit.
Mhm.
So I deeply appreciate the honest answers today. And that was our check-in.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So now that we know where we are, it's time to talk about what this episode feels like.
Okay.
So this is the part of the show where we create language to help us describe what we're feeling in ways that maybe the words that currently exist are not quite nailing, not quite actually or accurately getting to the goodness. Even when it's challenging, it is incredibly empowering to be able to name what you're feeling so that you can then know what to do about it. So this is the part of the episode where we talk about what this episode feels like.
Oh.
And to your point, because we're talking about some practical things today,
Okay.
Our
I'm ready.
word of the day
I'm ready. Here we go.
is practivation.
Practivation. Here we go. Here we go. We're there.
Practivation.
We're
So
there.
before I share with you what that officially means,
Okay.
I want you both to take a little guess. What do you
Alright.
think it means based on the word? You might hear some, some familiar words.
boy.
You might be able to
Yeah.
pull out some roots to make it make
Practivation.
sense. But practivation is the word. What do you think it means?
I mean, just off the beginning, I'm gonna go with it has something to do with practice.
Yeah,
Right? That's what I
In
would
that
think.
safe zone there.
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
think that's
safe.
wise.
That's
I
pretty
think that's a
safe.
wise decision. Yes, so something to do with practice. Anything else you want to add?
Vation can go in different ways.
It can go
you
a lot
know.
of ways.
So I think that's where I would stop and just be open to receiving.
You see what I'm saying?
You're the first guest that opted out.
She said, "I'm gonna trust the process. I'm gonna offer what I got, and I'm gonna bag
That's
back
a
and give
great
somebody
way of
room."
dealing with it. Yeah, that's good.
I love it.
That's
Okay,
good.
so
I like
something to
that.
do with practice. What do you think?
Practivate. I mean, activation. Like activating on the practical kind of. Hopefully, I'm getting close.
You're right there. You know me well
One
enough.
of these times,
You're
I'm
right
going
there.
to nail
You
it.
have nailed it a few times,
Okay,
right? I think you have.
I don't know, but it.
All right.
Tell us.
Practivation. Now you know I'm a little extra.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm ready for it.
Practivation is the sacred, intentional practice of cultivating awareness of and connection to the truths that exist within us. Right?
Okay.
So it's the sacred and intentional practice, that's the practivation part.
Okay.
Of cultivating awareness of and connection to
Okay.
the truths that exist within us. So it's accessing and then activating, which is the second part.
Okay. I was
So
in the neighborhood.
practivation. You were
Bonnie
right
B was in the
there.
neighborhood too.
Yeah.
We were both
You
right
pull up
there.
to the address and the GPS say
We're
you
both-
arrived,
we're
but you're
both
still
right-
like
we're
300
right
feet
there.
away. So
Yeah.
you're right there, but you're right there.
Okay.
You're right there.
I like it.
I still don't know how to navigate a map.
Lord.
College last week, my professor said, "Come find me here." I looked at a map and still went the wrong direction. So
It can be challenging.
Did you find it eventually?
I asked for help.
See, that's a good practical skill
As
that
as
we
a
need
first
to
gen,
talk
very
about.
good practical skill too.
Yes, and hopefully
So-
we'll come across that again. Sometimes it is very important to know. I mean, all jokes aside, to know when to ask for help.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know something like this feels, a bit funny, but yeah, it's important to ask for help, especially when we feel overwhelmed or when we feel like we're in above our heads. That is something I have to constantly remind myself of. So thanks for bringing that up.
Have to figure it out
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah,
Right.
I love
Yeah.
You
that.
don't have to figure it
I
out.
love that.
We don't.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Thanks for the word.
Already dropping
Yeah,
thanks for
gems.
the
We ain't
word.
even in the full episode yet. We already okay. So let's get into this full episode. As I mentioned, we're talking about listening or learning to listen when the world is loud. How do we tune in? Specifically, the how-to part of this, right? We want to talk about some practices, connecting to and honoring that inner voice, right? And again, we've spoken about the importance of tapping into the values and the virtues and the guidelines and the principles and the direction and understanding. We've talked about that, but now we're saying, how do we actually get there? What if I don't know my values? What if I'm not sure? What if I hear the guidance, but I don't know if I should heed the guidance because I don't have practice trusting myself? And what do those things look like? How do I have so many people who be like, how do you know? Like, faith is a big part of my life. And a lot of times I'll be like, it just felt like, God said, right? Like it just, to me.
Okay.
But I also take for granted that I have a relationship with and an understanding of what that even means to me to know that that's what it is. And some folks may hear or feel or however you sense that guidance and still doubt or question it because they haven't grown to a place of being able to trust or even translate what it is. So they're just like, I think, but I don't know. And I have that conversation all the time.
Okay.
All that time.
I've actually taken something away from you that I want to, give you your flowers when you can smell them, kind of deal. You know, one of the things that I've taken away from just watching you over the years is something like maybe I heard another, you know, person on Instagram kind of put it this way, but it's um, what it really feels like to me is watching you do things and then the deep clarity or the understanding kind of coming after. So action preceding clarity and understanding with things. And sometimes that made me think about how sometimes when we're in our head about something and we want to control outcomes and we want to gather all the information that we can, you know, A to Z before we actually do anything, we often get stopped and lost in that.
Sure.
So sometimes it's, you know, paralysis by analysis, where I appreciate you sometimes, Dr. Joy, sometimes you act and then you're out there and you're doing it.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, I'm in the water. Now I'm going to figure out how to swim.
Yep.
I really like that approach. I was thinking about that, you know, in correspondence to this episode today. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you that, you know, when I am thinking about making a move or doing something that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, like I think about you.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I think about
I'm
you.
glad to be an inspiration in that way. I have
Definitely.
so many, as you're talking, so many of the things that I say to myself in those moments. So there's the leap in the net will appear. Right?
Oh yeah.
There's, you know,
Leap in the net will appear.
yeah, there's also,
I had to sit with that one.
yeah, like
Who's
that's,
holding the net? See, like, where am I?
now you go create.
Well, can I just say something?
Yes.
You initiated when you said you were getting her flowers. You said, I feel like it wasn't a thought. It was a feel. So off the moment that you were going
look
with
at
the
you.
feeling
Well,
instead of just
then.
instant
Well,
thought.
then.
Look at Bonnie
So that's
B.
how I knew that I was like, oh yeah, he's picking up on the motion instead of just going into the thought. But right now, you went into the thought first, before the feel, and so that's where the disconnect happened, in my perception.
Well, listen.
We can
No.
just call the
Li-
episode
listen,
right there because that's it. That's good. No, that's really good. That's that. How do you? What do you? I would love to hear your reflection about that because I know how. I feel.
My reflection. Thank you. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not pushing back
Yeah,
on it.
no,
But
that's so good.
it can happen just that fast.
Yes.
You know, and as soon as I start thinking, then I'm not leaping because I'm literally like, all right, well, there's the net. Who's holding it?
Yeah.
Hey, how
What is
old?
it?
How old is that
Yeah.
net? I see holes in this
How
net.
much weight
right?
can that net hold?
Is that a
Where
weight-bearing
am I?
net down there? I don't know. You know, I'm not a little guy. You know, if I
Yeah.
jump, can you hold me? You know.
Right.
But I get it though. I really do because in Bonnie, you're absolutely right. That is absolutely what happened.
Sure.
Absolutely.
What's blowing my mind about that, because I agree, right, that lands and feels so true. And I hold this sort of story about myself that I tend to be an overthinker. So it's so I'm now curious about how in those moments I'm able to overcome that overthinking. I think I've shared with you before, and I say this often, that my ignorance is my superpower. I often do things because I don't know what I don't know.
But you
And I
trust
don't know,
yourself,
and I
though.
don't know enough. I don't know that I don't know that I don't know enough to not do it. Does that make sense? Like I'm just like, no,
Oddly enough, it makes
I'm
perfect
just
sense
like,
to
no, I
me.
think it's cool. I could probably just, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta go to school, read, write some papers, and I'm gonna be a doctor.
Yeah, I just gotta do that.
It's
You know,
like,
step 1
girl.
through 5. Right?
That's what it feels like.
Okay.
That's what I thought in my mind. I was like, dissertation. It's just like a long essay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
no problem.
No, it
No
took
prep.
me
No,
down.
you
But
know.
anyway, again, we'll talk about that. But so I really do appreciate what you're saying, which is like stick to the feeling, and then we get into sort of cultural narratives around why people do distrust the feeling. One, are first largely disconnected from it. And then if they are able to sense it, don't trust it because of the narratives around, you know, feelings are fickle, feelings are not facts, they make you weak, they make you this, all these other things that then don't allow us to really connect to and trust those feelings enough to allow them to guide us.
Well, Bonnie B brought it up. I'm curious.
Well,
Can I volley it back to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the things that I highlight from you, Dr. Joy, you said trust,
Yeah.
right? And one of the first ways that I always check in with myself is safety, that net,
Mhm.
you know, can it hold me?
Right.
And that's usually something I cultivate with individuals. Can this individual hold what I'm about to say?
Oh, wow.
Or
Interesting.
can this room
Ooh.
grasp the capacity of the feedback I have? Or can this organization hold, you know? Those questions of safety. So my first thing before I follow anything is, Bonnie, do I feel safe in this setting? Am I safe? At the core, to the place I am with my faith and the relationship I hold with that, yes.
Yeah.
And so that lets me take a step left, right. Even, you know, my son had a hip fracture 2 weeks ago, and I was like, faith, you know, like it's a leap of faith, and there's a reason why this is aligning, you know?
Sure.
And so it's even in those moments where that faith, that net, when even though it's not there, it's invisible, I can't physically see it or prove it. It is a feeling that I just sit in faith, and it's safety. It comes from me working through every fear that I've had, not only through myself, but generationally and through the observation of everyone in society. And I think that's something that we're seeing really big right now, safety.
Yeah.
I can hold that.
Yep.
I can hold that.
Yeah.
You know what? It is safety, you know, sometimes. Especially when there are big things or big changes. I don't like change, right? Once I'm set, I'm kind of set. I'm, you know, like a little wind up toy. Like if you wind me up and I know what I need to do, you don't need to check on me. You know, I'm just out there, you know. But it is fear sometimes of shifting gears or what that means, or, you know, will I be able to keep up with it or something? Because oftentimes it's not the fear of failure, but sometimes it is the fear of success. Like if something is successful, you got to kind of keep doing
The
it.
responsibility
The
that
responsibility
comes with
is to
that,
like
the
continue
notoriety,
being
the attention,
successful.
the visibility, whatever else.
Yeah, and that
for
makes my
sure.
skin crawl.
No.
But I'm here for it, right? I am here for it,
Yeah.
right? And you know, I appreciate that feedback, Bonnie B, and just calling that out. That's nice. I didn't expect to get that today. That's good. Keep me on my toes.
Put that in your journal tonight. Put that in your journal.
Keep me on my toes, Bonnie. All right.
Yes.
All right. We see you.
Right.
We see you over there.
Were you going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, the journal, I have thoughts about the journaling.
Oh, yeah?
Now, don't come for the journaling.
The journaling is great.
Hold on.
But I think it's designed for some people, not for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
For the
That's
quiet
fair.
folks, I think
That's
we
fair
need to get that out,
Fair
because that's
point.
how we
Yeah.
stick it
Yeah,
in.
The
you're
heart.
right.
The heart.
You're
I was
right.
feeling.
Fair point. Fair
Journal
No,
is
it's all
great,
good.
but you know,
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Fair point.
So if it's something we're overthinking, maybe talking it out, I think sometimes getting it out even builds that connection, I find, for me personally, with that feeling, instead of just, because I am also an overthinker, but I also move with action before having clarity on the
Absolutely.
why.
Absolutely.
I need to adopt some of this.
Yeah.
Can I get it at a store, Amazon?
I wish.
Can they drop it?
So we're going to
at the
talk
crib?
about some practices that will help you
Yeah.
cultivate that. Let me just share this. I'm probably going to butcher the quote a little bit, but you won't get the gist of what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It's something to the effect of, the bird goes out on the limb not because it trusts the branch to hold it up, but because it trusts its wings to fly. So that even if the branch breaks, I know I can fly. So I don't have a reason not to go out on this, because my trust is not in the branch. My trust is in my ability to fly. And so if I do have a faith that says I can, or if I have a belief or trust in myself, part of this is like, I probably don't know what I'm doing, but I trust myself to figure it out, because I figured out enough in my life to know that I can. To know that I can figure this out. I have people I can turn. I don't have to do this by myself. I can ask for support, guidance, wisdom, insight. I have enough resources, technological resources, to look up information, whatever I need. So it's like, even if I don't know and I can't answer all the questions, first of all, I don't even know all the questions that I have right now to even try to answer them all. So before I even go down the rabbit hole of trying to do that, let me just get to what I do know. And then when I get to a place where I have a question that I can't answer on my own, that's when I turn to all the resources that I need to help me figure it out. And I start to tap into my wings as I feel like the branch beneath me might be starting to crack, right?
Oh,
And
that's
and
nice.
that is,
Okay.
I think, a large part of how I tap into that kind of trust as well, right? It's not that I
I'm
know
just here
everything.
learning, from you
Yeah.
two. Like I'm just learning today. So that already,
Well,
come from my energy of overthinking. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm sitting here. I'm humbled, like I'm
yeah.
humble, but I like it. That's what's up.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about some practices that help us cultivate this sense of trust in ourselves or faith in a deity or whatever it is that you might
Yeah.
pray to or believe in. Let's talk about a couple of those things. What are some specific practices that you have?
I pray every single day.
Yeah.
And praying sometimes involves gratitude
Mm.
and considering those that are not considered.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a feeling, a call. If someone is on my mind a lot, then that means,
Mm.
ooh, and I just kind of go with the flow. And sometimes that means looking crazy to the world and my family,
A lot of times.
Mm.
A lot of
and
times.
and
Yeah.
because we live in a society where sometimes the help is scripted
Mm.
and not intuitively or presently led. It's production based, not
Mhm.
presence based. So, it's just walking with caution. And I think part of that quote you just said, knowing that if that the bird will know it can fly
Sure.
is knowing that if I do fall at the end of the day, I will be okay because I've fallen before and I've gotten back up.
That.
Mm. That's well said.
That. A
And,
fall is not the end of the story. Yeah.
so that quote was strong.
So just
It's well said.
lots of meaning, like right, lots of meaning. I do agree. Very well said. And so much of what you have said sounds to me like you have made meaning out of how this is going to go for you. Not necessarily the details, but you've made meaning out of how this is going to go. And so I'm just going to keep moving, trusting that it's going to go like that. And if it's not going like that, I'm going to make the choice that's going to try to course correct to make it go like that. So if I keep doing that, it's going to go how I need it to go because I'm making the choices that are moving me in that direction every time. Right.
And sometimes it's me ending up in a place where I did not
Didn't
think I
even
would end
think I
up.
was going to go.
And it's just accepting that, yep, okay, I'll take it from here.
Okay.
Surrender.
Oh wow, we could do a whole segment on that
Listen
one.
to me
We
when I
could do a
tell
whole
you,
we could do a
surrender
whole
is
segment on
its
that
own
one.
word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that was actually my word for 2020. And if y'all remember what happened in 2020, I was like, oh, okay, this is what we doing?
Yes,
Cool.
that is. That was
What?
the word.
This what we doing? Okay, when you said that, you really meant, okay, well, come on. So prayer. What about you? Do you have specific practices that help you cultivate a sense of groundedness or quiet in yourself?
Yeah, I do. I am a meditator. There have been times in my life where I've had a more serious practice,
Mhm.
but you never forget the fundamentals, honestly. So oftentimes, if I'm feeling, overwhelmed or emotionally dysregulated in some kind of way, I often return to, a meditative practice. And long story short, I mean, what that involves for me, honestly, is just finding a space to sit still and be quiet.
Yeah.
Literally for me, that's what I need. But there are various different kinds of meditation that people can do. But
Sure.
for me, I
Sure.
try to sit quietly and kind of ground in a little bit. And I try to get into my body. So I do a lot of body scanning. That's because I live in my mind so much that the counterbalance for me is always to have the conversation below the neck and to like get into my body.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, I did prepare something today
Yeah,
for our
nice.
practical, our
Yes.
practical segment and see if y'all can get with it.
Yeah.
So on this show, Bonnie, we like to lean into the AI part of things that we do every now and again because this is part of the show. So I've been experimenting with collaborating with GPT and things, and we collaborated and we came up with something called the snow globe mind.
Yes.
Okay. So, it's a few simple steps, 1 through 5. So the first step is to commit to a short daily stillness practice, whatever that is for you, prayer, meditation, sometimes running, sometimes, yoga, if that's for yourself to do. And we're looking for or asking permission to give permission to our inner compass to really guide us, right? So we're talking about that calibration before, right? So we're really asking for that space. The second thing is to train a kind of embodied listening. And I do that with body scan practices, for example. So in that, I'm really setting the intention, right? Once I'm there in the space, now I'm setting the intention, right? So the third thing is I'm pairing like the stillness with contemplative like reflection, right? So that may be journaling, it might be prayer, it might be inquiry, whatever. I'm looking for the lesson. I'm trying to find the lesson.
That meaning that I was
Right, that
mentioning
meaning.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 is, regulating my nervous system with slow breathing, right? I want to tap into safety cues. You mentioned that before. So now I'm getting into more somatic experiencing or what's going on in my body. So I am checking in for safety. And what I've noticed is that for a large part of my life, I have felt unsafe for various reasons, whether that is, anxiety or financial insecurity, or when I was bullied as a little kid, or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
But feeling unsafe has been a big part of my story. So I like to sit with that and try to embrace safety and protect the peace that I cultivate. And last but not least is just kind of a general, check-in practice on what's going on the inside. And that to me signals that I need to get my body involved in some kind of way. So to bring this all full circle, if you can imagine like, when you're a little kid and you're kind of like shaking this snow globe, right? And you're shaking it so hard and the snow is going and the snow is going, well, that's all the issues that we're kind of having, right? And it's really hard to see anything that's in the snow globe. So what we have to do is kind of embrace that the snow is happening. As the snow is happening, we're observing what's going on inside of the globe. When we're pairing that stillness, we're allowing that snow to settle to the bottom. Okay. And as we're regulating our nervous system, we can imagine that what are we learning? What is being revealed to us as the snow is sinking to the bottom? Like what's underneath the storm? And last but not least, right, when we're getting our bodies involved with it, what happens when the snow settles? 9 times out of 10, we kind of want to shake it again a little bit and start the process over again, because we really get entrenched in a process of renewal, right? When we're really putting it all together. I want to shake that globe. I want to see what's going on. I want to give myself some stillness to see what's revealed to me. And then when everything settles on the bottom, what do I do with it? That's what we came up with.
That entrenched in a process of renewal was a whole.
That's a curveball.
Like that snapped something wide open in my mind around a question I had been asking myself earlier. And as I'm reviewing all the things I'm into, I'm like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Because of that. Because I'm so committed to this process of renewal and understanding that every day is a new possibility. And I want to maximize and do what I can with, and whatever that looks like, whatever that means for me as I continue to explore and understand and expand a sense of self.
Yep.
And there is a need to kind of, when things settle, shake it up again.
Yeah,
and as frustrating as I sometimes get with myself about it because of the overwhelm that it can sometimes cause with all the tasks that come along with it, I do think that the cause or the root or the drive to do that is about that sense of renewal that comes from shaking things up and seeing the possibilities.
And the more I do that, the safer it feels to have things shook up. So if I'm feeling safe by shaking things up, now this becomes fun, right? We see kids with snow globes and it's a good time, right? So I'm helping myself reinvent or reorganize the way that I think about change, right? And if I can get change to feel fun, then maybe I'll want to do it more.
Goodness, I love this. And the visual of the snow globe is just bringing this home so beautifully. I'm really appreciating that. I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
That's my little contribution to this week.
I don't think it's little at all.
No, not at all.
Well, I appreciate it. Me and GPT kicking it. Shooting ideas back and forth.
Come on with the rap name. It's Bonnie B and GPT.
Shooting it back and forth.
What's my rap name?
We got to figure one out.
A rap name. Somebody give me a rap name. Bonnie B. Do you have anything you would
Well,
like to
I mean, I think
add?
one of the things you said as shaking it up, right? But then finding the piece that you cultivate,
Yes.
that stood out for me.
Yeah.
You know, it was like being aware of what you already have
Yes.
cultivated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think because of that awareness, shaking it up kind of gives that resilience of
I would agree. I love that.
I
I
can
love that.
shake it up again and again, and we can it's like a reset, start
It's
over.
something you said
Yeah.
earlier. Like I've been, even if I fall down, I've been here
Yeah.
I've
before.
been here
So
before.
I know that
Yeah.
I'll be okay,
Yeah.
even in the falling. And that is, I think, what you're saying. I want to get to a place where
Mhm.
I know I'll be okay, even if I fall, so that the prospect of falling doesn't paralyze me from continuing to move forward, grow, explore, be curious. I love all of those things. I want to offer our rooted reflection. We've said a lot. We've offered some practices and what it could look like to tap in and cultivate a sense of trust and safety that can support, when the world is wild around you, that you have a safe place within you that you can tap into. I want to offer the rooted reflection. And it's really just commit to 3 days, at least
Mhm.
3 days of incorporating these mindfulness practices. So the breathing,
Yes.
the breath, the meditation, the checking in with your body, the prayer, the journaling, the whatever the thing, however that shows up for you. Commit to at least 3 days consecutively of doing that with the intention of asking yourself 2 questions. One, what do you notice? So you're not just doing the
Mm.
things mechanically or on autopilot, but specifically for the practice of building awareness and cultivating a sense of trust and strengthening that relationship you have with yourself so that you can trust what comes up, right? So what are you
Learn to
noticing?
trust. Yeah.
And then how do you interpret that? Because the other part of building trust is understanding. I cannot
Yes.
trust what I don't understand.
Facts.
And it doesn't mean
Facts.
cognitively, intellectually understand. I mean, if I can't make some kind of sense of this, if I can't make meaning out of this to be able to apply it in a real kind of
Right.
way,
Right.
then how am
Precisely.
I supposed to do? So
Precisely.
not as you're noticing, but you're also interpreting. Now that I've noticed that this is what happens in my chest gets tight or my stomach, we have all these phrases. I got a lump in my throat. I got a crick in my, I got a, what is it?
Yeah.
You're a pain in the neck. We've got all
Yeah.
these sort of colloquial sayings about how things show up in our bodies, but how are we actually interpreting that to help us make meaning so that it can inform how we
Yes.
then move forward?
Yes, that
Right?
part you
That's
have
the
to act on it.
practice.
My
You
grandmother would
have
always say,
to.
like, if it wants to come up, it wants to come out.
Yes.
So,
Ooh,
when
come on,
things are
grandma's
coming up,
Yes.
yeah, when things are coming up for you over and over and over again,
Yes.
that is a signal to, shift your awareness to what's actually coming up.
Yeah.
And this fear of change has been something that has come up in my life over and over and over again. So it's something that I'm ready to really challenge myself on and do something different.
I
Here I
am
am.
so excited.
Here I am. Here I am.
I'm excited for you too. I'm gonna have to check in.
Yeah,
Be like,
yeah.
hey.
Keep in touch. Keep in touch.
Oh,
Work
I
in
love
process. Work in
that.
process.
Oh, I love that so much. And so we have talked about several different practices that we are inviting you to. We also encourage you to think about what makes the most sense for you. It might just be turning on your favorite song and dancing and noticing how you feel when that happens. There really is no right way. I appreciate that you said this is what meditation looks like for me.
For me
Because
specifically.
whatever
It's
you spend your
personal.
time thinking about is what you're meditating on.
Yep.
So I always tell people it's not about clearing your thoughts. It's about being able to redirect them.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to say, but right now, yes, the to-do list is coming up, but right now I'm checking in with my body. Yes, I need to make this appointment, but right now I'm observing my thoughts. Right now I'm sitting with my breath. Right now I'm going for this run. And whatever I'm choosing to do in the moment where I want to be present with what is, as you mentioned, as other things fly into my mind or whatever, but right now, this is what I'm committed to for this 1 minute,
Yeah.
this 2 hours, whatever your thing is, and allow that to be the commitment that you make and the investment that you make in yourself
Yes.
to cultivate a sense of trust with that voice, that knowing, that feeling within that wants to guide you, that wants to lead you. So before we go, until we meet again, we want you to take this with you. And that is, I am rooted in truth and growing in clarity. I am rooted in truth and I am growing in clarity. Bonnie B,
Thank you so much for being
Thank you
here
for
with
having
us.
me.
thank you so much.
And I will be rooted in
really
truth and
putting
growing
something
in
out.
clarity.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I love
That's
that.
great.
Thank you
Your
for having
presence was really, really nice today.
Appreciate
Like,
you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
bringing that to
Yes,
my
yes,
conscious
yes,
awareness.
yes.
I'm gonna have to do something with that now.
Ooh, I'm excited to see what's
I
All
was-
right,
going
listen,
I
I'm
didn't mean
excited. Thank you so
Yes.
much. No, I gotta do something with that, and I appreciate you.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Another juicy episode in the books. We appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Let us know how you feel about this in the comments. Send us your thoughts. And don't forget to use practivation in a sentence. Let us know how you are going to align your practices and how you're going to activate all of the wisdom that you get from your inner knowing into your life. Until next time.
Until next time. Bye, y'all.